We talk about the Iron Dome a lot. That is, I suppose, there we go, the siren's now sounding. We talk about the Iron Dome. That is a missile defense system, incredibly effective, but really most useful against the sort of missiles that Hamas have in their stockpile and Hezbollah. When it comes to ballistic missiles, which is, I think, what we are looking at now, it's a different system called the Arrow system, and also they've got the David Sling system as well, and they can engage ballistic missiles that come in much, much faster, much, much higher up in the sky as well, and carry a far heavier payload. So it's a different system that they use to intercept, but has been very effective. You've also got the American THAAD system, which is in Israel at the moment to provide an extra layer of defense. Let me just let you listen to what's going on here. You might be able to hear the thud of interceptions as well. So just to recap, we are now experiencing what we think is an Iranian ballistic missile attack on Israel, something that has been expected ever since Israel launched those first waves of the strikes against Iran at around 3 a.m. this morning. Now the sirens have stopped. That normally is an indication that the threat is over. I can see sort of the fire of some debris over to the east, sort of across the West Bank towards the hills, towards the Jordanian mountains, falling quite rapidly. One of the biggest threats when ballistic missiles are incoming, and we experience them really very regularly here because of the Houthis, but the Houthis normally fire one, sometimes two at a time. With Iran, we could expect there to be many more than that. I'm seeing more interceptors going to the sky now, so perhaps the threat is not over. But one of the real concerns is falling debris from the interceptions. When they are intercepted mid-air, that debris can fall, and that is a real threat to people who are not seeking shelter. Okay, so we're just looking at the streaks of what we think are interceptors. It's incredibly hard at night time to understand what is an incoming missile and what is an outgoing interceptor. And often the sky is alight with these missiles right above us. You can see the streaks there, very, very bright. Now the assumption is that they will be big flames in the sky. The assumption is that targets will be, and I'm just going to move here because it looks as though some of them are coming down to the ground pretty hard. The assumption is that the target would be Tel Aviv, military bases, but of course in Jerusalem you have the Israeli parliament and the seat of government as well. And so I think it's realistic to assume that that could also be a target for Iran. I'm just trying to get some detail on, okay, I'm getting a message from the Israeli military telling me that dozens of Iranian ballistic missiles are en route to Israel. Now, dozens, whilst that would pose a real threat to Israel, is considerably less than we have experienced before, and should, in theory, not be too much of a challenge for the Israeli defense systems to handle. It's the real worry in Israel is if they are overwhelmed by a barrage of hundreds or possibly even thousands of missiles, or a sort of a combination, which we saw back in April 2024, where it was drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles all hitting at the same time. Back in April 2024, there was forewarning. Iran gave countries around the region a warning that they were going to attack many days a coalition was put together by Israel, of the Americans, the French and the British and others to come to Israel's defense.